Good morning, David. Okay. Lag Ba'omer, Tafshin Pei, Eile Nishmas B'Shim V'Echai, the Ramah, Rabbi Moshe ben Isser. Okay. We are now on Tzemach Vav Beit. How many lines from the... We're... 13 lines? 13 lines from the bottom, Tanur Rabbanan. Yotzin be'even tekuma b'Shabbat. There's a lady would wear this stone to sustain her pregnancy, so she shouldn't miscarry. And that stone was considered a tachshit and not a masa. And it helps that a person shouldn't, lady shouldn't miscarry. So therefore, it's a tachshit. Mishum Rabbi Meir Amru Af Mishkal Event Kuma. Even the item that they weighed the Event Kuma against that item on a scale, that item also has a skula. V'lo shehipila elo shemo tapil. Not a lady who already miscarried. So for her, this is a tachshit because she needs it. Even a lady who has never miscarried, but she doesn't want to miscarry. And not even a lady who knows that she's expecting. Even a lady who thinks that she might be expecting any day, so she wants to wear it in advance or in case she is. Maybe she will become, that's good enough also. And Rashi is mashra, she has to be, it's only because she might be, but she just doesn't know about it. But let's say a lady knows for a fact that she's not, but she can't. This that we said, that the item that's weighed against it is also a skula, is also a special, the word for skula in English, I don't know, is the ikav and v'itkal. Because the item itself was exactly the same weight as the other stone. But if it wasn't equal to the stone, you had to add to it, then it doesn't help, and therefore it's asur to go out with Shabbos. Baya baya. Mishkal de mishkal mai. What about if you weigh something against the weight that was weighed against the stone? It's like a second koach already. Is that also help miscarriages, and therefore she can wear it as a tachshit or not? Teku, that question stands. Omar Abaye Omra li aim. Abaye said, my mother taught me other things. Le'ish tabat yoma. If a person has a fever for one day, lishkol zuzah chivaro, they should take a zuz, a coin. It's made out of pure silver, v'lezel milchata, and let her go to a salt refinery, like a place where they make salt out of the ocean water, v'litkol matkoli milcha, and let her weigh her zuz in salt. Now take that amount of salt that weighs the amount of the coin and tie it in the pocket of her neck of the cholah, which means underneath his throat, near his shirt, tie it over here, right there. Benira barka, with a string of hair that looks like a neer. A neer was the part of the weave machine. Okay? and the thread would go through it, so it looked like this. It looked more like an eye. So that's the way it should look. The binir barka, make the string that's made like that, and that will help him from this shachafat, the ishta from the fever. The ilo later aprasha drachim. If not, he should sit by the crossroads of Chichazi Shum Shunogam the Dori Midi. And when he sees a large ant carrying something, Lishkele, let him take the ant, for Lishte begufsad in Chosha. Let him put it into a tube made out of copper, Velistime be'avora, and let him close up the mouth of that tube with lead, the Lichtime beshitim gushpanki, and let him seal it with 60 alternate different types of seals, vilivazule, vilidre, vilemele, and let him shake up the tube that has the ant that was carrying something that was sealed with lead and then 60 other seals, and let him carry it, vilemele, and tell the ant, tu'una chalai u'te'una yaloch. Let your burden be upon me and my burden be upon you. And that way he'll throw off his burden, his sickness. These are all obviously sigulot. Maybe someone else already found this ant and did the skula with this ant, and now the chola is asking for the burden of the ant. Maybe this ant already has somebody else's sickness on it. Rather, she should say the incantation should be, the lachash should be tu'unai u'tu'unoch aloch. My burden and your burden should be on you. V'iloi lishkel kuzda chadata. If he doesn't have these things, so let him take a piece, a small jar of earthenware that's brand new. V'lezel, let him go to the river V'lemele and say to the river, Nahara, Nahara, oisvan kuzu demaya la'orcha de'iklali. Lend me a jar of water. V'lahada shav zim li areshe. And let him put I need a jar of water for my guest. Who's my guest? My sickness. Let him put this jar of water, this barrel of water, little barrel of water around his head 7 times on his head. And every time you should throw the water backwards into the river. And say, now take back the water that you gave me. Thank you. Because the guest that visited me came today and left already. I get rid of my thing. Omar Avhuna. Avhuna said, Ishta tilta. If a person has a fever for 3 days, Laisi shiva silvi mishiva dikli. They say that this sickness causes the flesh to swell and to dry up, and it weakens the person. I think it's in this week's parsha. It's unbelievable. We have the refuah shachefetz v'kadachas. This is the part of the teichacha, right? Laisi shiva silva mishiva dikli. You should bring 7 little leaves from 7 different palm trees, mishiva tziva mishiva kshure, and 7 not twigs, like little pieces, broken pieces of wood from 7 beams of wood, v'shiva sichi mishiva kshure, and 7 pegs from 7 bridges, v'shiva ktima mishiva tanuri, and 7 measurements of ashes from 7 different tanurim, ovens, the shiva afre, the shiva sinrei, and 7 measurements of earth from 7 holes of where the door enters, which means the door would enter into the ground, right? So 7 measurements of earth from 7 of those. The Shiva Kufrei, where the hinge went into. The Shiva Kufrei Mishiva Arbe, and 7 measurements of like tar from 7 different ships. Okay. Because they put them on the door, on the walls of the ship, they would coat them. V'shiva buni kamoine, and 7 kamoin is a certain type of kamun. What is it? Cumin? It's cumin? Yeah, it's a spice. 7 bune kamoine. Some learn that it means seeds, and some mean that it means fistfuls. V'shiva bine bedink midikna dechal b'sava. And 7 hairs of a white dog's beard, and tie it all together by his neck, benira barko, with that string of hair that was shaped like the barko, and this will help him from shachafas. If a person has kadachas is more like a fever. I kept saying fever for the other one. The other one is some sort of swelling and dryness. Kadachas is a big, heavy fever. Let him take a knife that's entirely iron, and let him go to where there are little short bushes like the sneh bush. The Lichter Bay Nira Barka, let him tie that string of hair that's made like a neer again. And let him go tie it to that bush. That knife. Let him go there for 3 days, and let him do it for 3 days. On the first day, he should take out a little bit of the bush and say, maybe I think it means to burn a little bit of the bush. Pretty interesting that today is Lag BaOmer, no? Should make a fire over here and say, that's exactly what they do. If you have to have pasuk in the whole Torah that talks about burning bonfire, this pasuk, yeah? That's what it says you should do. And meaning that the pasuk is describing that nothing happened to the bush, although it was burning. The next day you do it again. Later, and say, Vayomer Moshe Asuru Nove Ere. Moshe said, let me turn my head and see this great vision. Why is the bush not burning? Okay? We know the story, right? The next day, let him do the same thing again to the bush. Hashem saw that he turned to see. And the point is, they should say kisar, that it was removed. And then his Omar le Ravacha B'rei Ravacha Ravashi v'leim v'yim al tikra v'aloim. Ravacha B'rei Ravashi says he should also say the pasuk v'yim al tikra v'aloim. Don't get close to me. The pasuk at the beginning, right? The pasuk that Moshe Rabbeinu was told by Hashem, don't get close. Ella, meaning let the fire not get close to Ella. Rather, the first stage is to Vayir Melech Hashem love, and also Vayomer Moshe, the second pasuk. V'limchor, the next day, Leima, Vayashem Kisar Liris. V'limchor, the third day, you should say, Vayomer Al Tikar V'aleim. So the Gemara says, V'chi Posak Le, and he keeps saying this. Litase V'lifsike, after it goes away from him, you should lower the bush and cut it near the ground. V'leima Hachin should say, Hasnei, Hasnei, bush, bush. Not because you are the tallest of all trees did Hashem rest His divine presence upon you. But rather because you are the lowest one, the humblest. And then he should say, and just like the fire that saw Hanani, Mishael, and Azariah, who were thrown into the fire by Nebuchadnezzar when they refused to bow, and fled before them, didn't burn them, it was miraculous. Kain Tachmine Eshto, the plain of our plainest, Visirek mit Kodamoy. So you shall be seen as a fire of fever for this specific person. You say the name, and you shall flee from before them. And all this will help. The problem is, there's a Gemara in Shavuot that says that a person is not allowed to heal himself with the words of Torah. Okay? Because that's included in the prohibition of nechush, incantations, which is something that the Goyim would do. When you use the words of Torah, so the question is, how is he allowed to do this? So the Rishonim are all bothered by this. Many say because this is talking about a fever that was sakanat nefashot. That's one teretz. Another teretz is, when it's the main medicine, that's a problem. But if this is just a part of the refuah, it's not a problem. Okay? Another teretz is that these are not being done as medicinal, but rather as a tefillah. Okay? Okay, weiter. Says the Gemara. L'simto lema hochi. If a person wants to cure his boils, he has blisters, he should say Bazbazia, Masmasya, Kaskasya, Shaloi, V'Amaloi. These are names of Malachim who heal the Shrin. Okay? Bazbazia is the name of a Malach who's Bazia. Bazia means rips. He rips the sickness. Okay? Masmasya is heals. Kaskasya is he takes apart. He chews up. Okay. These are the malachim that were sent from Eretz Edom. Rashi says here that they don't really come from stone, but this is the way you say the incantation. And if a person has a very painful boil, you should say bazoch, bazich, baz bazich, masmosim kamoin kamich. Rashi over here says these don't have any understanding. This is just the incantation. Just do it. We don't know what it means. And then he should turn to the boil itself and say, Einech bich, einech bich. Your appearance should stay inside of yourself. Don't get redder. Atrech bich. Let your place stay where it is. Don't spread. Zarech kikolu tu chafirdu d'loipara v'leiravia. Your children should be like those whose children get stuck in their stomachs, which means They don't have. They're barren, and like a mule, they cannot multiply. The plane by plane is so too. You should not multiply the plane by plainess. Today, finally, like after all the days of COVID-19, which we had so many very harsh gemaras of how bad and averis. Today, like Ba'omer, we get the Yeshua. All the problems, all the refuat come. What? All the skulot, balabatesh. The keeper lay mehochi. But where's Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi say? We're looking for Rabbi Shimon. Don't worry. Zat Hashem. Found him already. The keeper lay mehochi. I knew Hashem wouldn't do that to the whole, thousands of Yidden. They're waiting for Rabbi Shimon today. L'kipa le'mahochi. If a person has like kipa is avabuot, also like boils. I'm not sure what the difference is exactly. Some say it means mifashakafi shade. Rashi brings down someone that got attacked by a demon. You should say cherev shlufa v'kela netusha. Like different types of swords. The kela and the tusha, basically, l'shmei yoichiv chaylim achayvin. This is what he should say. His name is not Yochav. Machlot, machivot, sicknesses that have pain. I don't know what this is, but this is the incantation. L'shida le'mahochi. To drive away a shade, you should say, Havet tepakik havet. You were pakuk you were. Lita toveru mishumat. Let the shade, who is called Batit Batame Batina, Kishamgaz Merigaz Vistamai. Let him be cursed, broken, and banned. Like Shamgaz, Merigaz, and Istamai. Okay. L'shida de betakise. To drive away a shade from the bathroom. That was mazik. Le mahochi. Akakafe dari ve'ause diguraita. On the head of a male lion and in the nostrils of a female lioness. Ashkachtun l'shidai. You could find the shade which is called Bar Shirika Pando. B'meisher decharti chavte. I felled him. I knocked him down in the rows where they grow these beans. Beloya dechamora chatarte. And in the jawbone of the donkey, I smote him. I smit him. Exactly what that means, we have no idea. Weiter. We go back now where it says, what did it say? It said in the Mishnah, Habonim yoitzim mikshorim. Uvnei melochim bizdogin. And the princes can go out with bells. The bells are not making noise. The bells are stuffed, but it was a very fancy ornament which the princes were able to go out with. And then the Mishnah answered, the Mishnah said, V'chol Adam is allowed. Once the princes go out, those are the ones who usually wear it, the very wealthy princes. But really anybody could, because it's an ornament. It's not normal for such people to wear, but really even a poor person, if he gets hold of one, he can wear it. Man Tano. Who is the Tana that holds that even a poor person can wear something that is fit for a wealthy prince? Isn't it weird that a poor person is going to wear something that's so fancy? Imagine someone walking out with ripped clothing and patches and all that, and suddenly he has like a $100,000 Rolex. It's going to cause people to laugh at him. They're going to make fun. It doesn't fit. It's just the wrong thing. And therefore he'll take it off from the Shut Rabim. So who is this Tana that allows a poor person? It must be he holds that every poor person is really like a rich person. Omar Rabbi Shia Rabbi Shimon Moini, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Omar Kol Yisrael b'nei Melochim, because he holds that all Jews are really princes. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Today, on Rabbi Shimon's Yotzeit, he tells everybody, you're all b'nei Melochim. This is his tefillah that Rabbi Shimon's going to this. He's going with Daf Tzamach Zayin today, because how did tzaddikim speak the Torah? When we speak the Torah, they say that Torah. So what are we saying that Rabbi Shimon says? He says to Hashem, Kol Yisrael b'nei Melochim. You have to help them. They're all the children of Melochim, of the king. They're all your princes. Therefore, why are we b'nei Melochim? Because we come from Hashem. We're the children of Hashem. So therefore, there's no shash, there's no worry that they're going to take it off. Because a poor person should wear it, this fancy bell. He should wear it. He's b'nei Melochim. Okay. Weiter, sagt die Gemara, Rava Omer ba'orig bichsusoi, divrei hakol. Rava argues and he says that the Mishnah is talking about not the Shita Rabbi Shimon ba'orig bichsusoi, the divrei hakol. Can be going with everyone. Even if you don't hold that Kol Yisrael b'nei Melochim. Okay. There's a machlokes later on, Chacham Rabbi Shimon. But even if you go with the Chachamim, we're talking about a bell that was sewn to his cloak, and therefore, even the Chachamim hold that you're allowed to go out even if you're poor, because there's no shash he's going to take it off if they make fun of him, or to show it off to his friend, because it's sewn to his cloak. Says the Heilige Mishnah, Yotzin beveit ki beveit hasachar goil. You're allowed to go out with an egg of the chagol. The chagol is one of the 4 types of species of grasshoppers, of locusts, which are kosher, which you can eat. They would tie the grasshopper's egg, very tiny, to a sick person, so that he would get better, like we spoke about all those types of segulot. Uveshen shual, uvmasmer min atzaluv. You're also allowed to go out with a fox tooth and with the nails of the one who was boarded up, meaning the person, like when the Malchus would hang somebody, right? They would board him up. So you should stay there for a long time. So those nails from Yashka, you could take them, and they're very, very good skula for sickness. Okay? Mishum refuah. Since it's for refuah, it's considered a tashit, and there's no problem. Okay? Just like you go out with a kameya, you let it go out with this. Now, what is each one for? We're going to see soon. Divrei Rabbi Meir, this is Rabbi Meir. Chacham Mosrin, they say, Af bechol mishum darkei amori. The Chachamim say, not only can't you do it on Shabbat, you cannot do this even during the weekday, because this is the ways of the Goyim. It says, V'chukoteim lo telechu, don't go in their ways. And there's other psukim, V'lo ta'aseh k'ma'aseyim, v'lo telchu b'chukot hagoy. Maybe you'll go after their ways. Once you start with all their silliness, this stuff is superstitious stuff that the goyim do, and therefore it's not just super silly, it's asur. And there's different rishonim that bring different psukim of what you're being over. Some say lo tenachashu, do not do superstitious things. But anyways, it's asur. According to the Chachamim, you're not allowed to do this ever. So the Mishnah Gemara says, Yotzim veitzes chagel, to avdil shichla. What do they do it for? They would do it for earaches, and they would tie it on the ear. Okay? Ear aches, yeah. Uvishain shel shul, maybe ear infection, whatever. The person has it. Uvishain shel shul, the ovdi l'shinta. If a person was not able to sleep, so they took this tooth, the fox tooth, the chayo, if it was taken from a live one, leman denoyim, it's good for a person who sleeps too much. He keeps dozing every time. The mita, from a dead fox, leman deloynoyim, is good for one who can't sleep. He has insomnia. The Rashba in Chuvis says that this is not segula, but rather it's natural. There's some sort of force in that tooth. And from the nails of the guy that the kingdom nailed into the boards, Yashka, the Avdil is Zirpa. It's good for the swelling of a wound. A person has a wound, right? He got hit by a sword or something, and it swelled up. This is a skula, because usually iron, what it causes is actually swelling, right? Here you take this rusty iron nail, I don't know if it has to be rusty, and it's a segula, it does the opposite, like it maybe draws in the swell. I don't know what it does. It's some sort of segula. Okay. Fine. Now, so we go, Mishum Refuah Divrei Rabbi Meir. So the Mishnah said that according to Rabbi Meir, you're allowed to carry it on Shabbat because it's Refuah, it's not a masa, it's a tachshit. Abai v'rova dam b'tavai kol davar sheyesh b'ei Mishum Refuah. Ebe Mishum Darkei Amori. Anything, they go like Rabbi Meir. Why? Because they say that anything that has medicinal powers is not a problem of Darkei Amori. Because Darkei Amori is either because Darkei Amori is just things that have no real power, no auspicious power, nothing about them, and therefore to do them is silly. But if something actually has power, or another reason is because if everybody sees clearly that they're medicinal, then it doesn't look like you're doing something goyish or anything like that. It just looks like you're doing something that helps. Okay. So the Gemara says, "Ha'ein by mishum refuah, but yesh mishum darkei amori." The Gemara says, "I don't understand. The Meister in the Mishnah is only okay because it says refuah. But if there's no refuah, like for example, an incantation, then yesh mishum darkei amori. Then there's going to be darkei amori. V'atanya ilon shemashe perotav. So krobis tikra v'to'ano ba'avanim. An ilon that keeps dropping its fruits. So what you do is you paint it in purple or red. V'to'ano ba'avanim. And you lift stones and you put stones on all of its branches in order to make it stronger. And that's not Darkei Amori, even though the Goyim do it. I understand putting stones on it makes a lot of sense. It's not an incantation, it's not some sort of weird thing, because there's a point to it. It makes a lot of sense. Because you want to weaken the power of the tree. Because the trees, why does the tree keep dropping its fruits? Because it's too strong. It just like knocks them off. Right? They can't like govern over the branches and just remain there until they get ripe. Every time they grow out, the tree knocks them off. It has too much koyach going through itself, so it just throws them off. So you want to weaken the tree a little bit by putting stones on it. It gets tired and weak, then it will hold its fruits. That makes sense. But elasokro besikra, painted red? What type of weird thing is that? That sounds a little bit superstitious, like the black cat and the salt and all that type of stuff. The number 13. My refuah kavid. What type of medicine is that? So the Gemara says, no, ki echid el-chazi inche v'livu alei rachamei, ki detanya v'tomei tomei yikro, tzorech lo yediyah tzari l'rabim, v'rabim yivakshu olav rachamei. Amazing thing. It's so that people should see it. And when people see the red tree, they say, oh, he painted his tree. He wants us to pray for it. And everybody will pray, and the tree will get better. Just like we learn that a mitzorah, he's out of the machane. And every time people get near him, he says, tamei, tamei. That's what the Torah says. He has to call that out. Why does he do that? So he notifies his pain to everyone of what he's going through. And through that, everybody will ask for mercy. Omer Avino, kiman talinon kufte bediklo, ki haitano. Why is the minhag is to hang these clusters of dates on the trees, on the date palms, who keep knocking off their dates before they get ripe? Like this Tano, because we're asking everybody to pray. So when you have an issue, you let people know and they pray for it. Okay? Toni Tana beperek Amarei Kamei Rabbi Yochanan Barovin. The Gemara brings a story about a chacham who was an expert in Breitot. And he was teaching these Breitot that were teaching the laws of Perek Darkei Amori. Okay, these are prokim in the Tosefta, in the Breitot, in the back of Shabbat, about all the things that are asur because of Darkei Amori. And he was teaching it before Reb Chia bar Avin. Omar lei. So Reb Chia bar Avin told to this chacham, Kulu itbiu mishum Darkei Amori. Don't teach any of them, any of these acts. Don't say by any of them that there's no Darkei Amori on one of them. They all are. The bar mehani, besides the following two. What are the two? The first one is Mishiyeshlo Etzem Migrono. Anybody who has this, by the way, Rabbi said, you can remember this. If you remember this Gemara Balpeh, one day, especially if you're in Hatzalah, this is a very good thing. If a guy has a bone stuck in his throat. I remember there was a Jew that was my aunt's father and mother, went through Auschwitz, went through everything. I remember they're not here anymore. And this happened to him, and he had it in his china closet, in this fancy thing with all the silver, to have this bone, this fish bone. He left it there to remind him of the miracle, because he once was choking for a long time on a bone. What do? Maybe me'oto amin. Bring another fish bone. Umeiniach le al kodkodoi. Put it on his head, v'lei mahachi, and say to the person who's choking, chad chad nachid bola. One should go down and get swallowed. Bola nochit chad chad. Swallow and go down 1-1. That is not Darkei Amori. That's not the ways of the Goyim. This is a real thing. Do it. But it's a very, very short line. Chad chad nochit bola. Bola nochit chad chad. Make a little song out of it. Always have it handy in case you're ever around. People do choke on bones once in a while. Le'idra. Oh, actually this is a fish bone. Le'mahachi. That was a larger bone. Nin atzta kimachat, nin alta ketris, shoyo shoyo. Okay? Say that. And that's also not Darkei Amori. Ha'oimer, now, Rabbi Chia bar Avin continues, but now he tells you all the ones that are Darkei Amori and that are problematic. Ha'omer gad gadi, v'sanuk lo ashki ubushchi. If a guy says, let my mazal, my luck, get more mazal. Hitmazel mazli. Like gad gadi, God is mazal. Ba God mazel tov, Rashi says there. So he says, and let it not get tired, not at day and not at night. That's darkei Mori. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Gad enu elu loshen avodah zara shenema ha'oichim lagad shulchan. That's a loshen of avodah zara. There was actually a god. Okay, there was a god named God. And that's the pasuk that speaks about that in Yeshaya. They set up a table for God, like Gad Shulchan. And therefore it's not Darkei Mori, but real Avodah Zarah. Hu b'shma v'hi b'shmoi. Yesh v'dim Darkei Mori. If a man and a wife and his wife exchange names at night, that's Darkei Mori. You know, you call your wife Moshe, she calls you Tzipi. So that's Darkei Mori. Don't do that. Dunu Donai. Let my barrels get really strong. My barrels of wine. Let them, you know. Yesh v'dirshum Darkei Mori. That's Darkei Mori. Yehuda Omer ein Don el l'shen avodah zara. Don is a language of avodah zara. This is not just the ways of goyim. That you're being over on transgressing one lav of chukoteim, which is a terrible lav. Don't get me wrong. Or lo tenachshu, or like taking haircuts in the style of the goyim, which is also these averis. But this is being over on avodah zara. Why? Because Dan is also the name of avodah zara. Shenemar hanishba'im, a pasuk in Amos, be'ashmat shomron, those who swear by the God of Shomron, va'omru chei Elohecha Don, let your God live, Don, the name of Don. Ha'omer lo'orev, someone says to an orev is a raven. While the raven is calling out, Tzrach u'lo'revta shriki ve'achziri liznavech l'toiva yesh b'o mishum darkei mori. Turn around for the good, that's Darkei Mori. Ha'omer shachtu tarnagol zeh shekara orvis v'tarnagoyles shekara gavris. You know you should slaughter this rooster because it sounds like a raven, or slaughter this chicken because it sounds like a rooster. So we got to slaughter it. We got to get rid of it. It's scary. That is Darkei Mori. Yesh v'shum Darkei Mori. Eshte v'oister, eshte v'oister. If someone says, I will drink and leave over. Drink and leave over. He wants to have a success with his wine. Yesh v'shum Darkei Mori. Meaning to say, he's trying to say that if just drinking a little will already satisfy me because it'll be such good wine. That's the way it will help the wine. That's Darkei Mori. Someone who breaks eggs on the wall in front of the little chicks so that the chicks should not die. Some sort of goyish thing. If someone mixes around a pot in front of the chicks, they shouldn't die, is all Darkei Mori. By the way, people should check out if the red strings around their hands are Darkei Mori. Instead of being a schooler, they might be Darkei Mori. Where's that come from? What are you believing in? What are you really into when you put those red strings on? Are you believing this red string will help you? Is it a superstitious thing? Is it a goyish thing? Many people hold that might be. Be careful. You know what helps a person? Tefillah, Torah, Tzedakah, Ma'asim Tovim, Yireh Shamayim, working on his midos. These things get you closer to Hashem, and then Hashem, the source, helps you. Someone who dances in front of chicks, or he counts 71 chicks so that they shouldn't die. By the way, Rabbi Yehuda Chassid, Beis Yosef brings down wood, shecht, roosters and chickens that sounded like, so it seems to be clearly against the Gemara. he would actually, if he heard a rooster that sounded like it was crowing like a raven, he would shecht it. He said he told his children to do it. Or a chicken that sounded like a rooster. So the Beis Yosef says that he had a different girsha in this Gemara of the Ramach, because the Ramach's girsha says all these things that are not darkei mori. Okay? So Rabbi said have a good time figuring this out. Anyway, we're going weiter with this girsha. Hamerakedes lakutoch. If someone dances lakutoch, now, the reason why it says losh, you know that kutach is all over shas. The sour milk with the sour pieces of bread and the milk, they make some sort of sour dip for the bread, like a sour cream. The reason why it says mirakedet in Lashon HaKeva because the ladies were busy with all these types of things. And when she puts the lentils into the pot, she says shh. So that they really cook well. Or she screams when she's cooking grisin that they get really well cooked. Someone who urinates in front of their pot so that it really it hurries, right? It gets cooked quickly. But you're allowed to take wood from a tut tree. Rashi says tut is something that grows that's very strong, like vinegar. So it helps the process of cooking. It speeds it up. He takes broken pieces of glass. He puts in glass pieces into the pot. I guess they're large enough that he'll be able to take them out later and see they won't get into the food, and that helps to speed the cooking process. That is a natural way, and that's mutar. He says we're too worried about it because a person might come to swallow one and it's dangerous. So now the Gemara brings down other things that are not darkei mori that speed up, that help the cooking. You're allowed to put a fistful of salt into the oil that's in the lamp of the ner, so that the light should light up with more clarity. Should be a nicer light. That is not darkei mori, that is natural, because that's what salt does to the oil. Because it draws the oil to the wick and it makes it better. And you're allowed to put mortar and crushed up earthenware, tachat aner clay, so that it takes longer. It's a longer light. You'll get more out of your wick. That is also natural, and it goes slower that way. Okay? And even though people look at these things as if they're some sort of incantation or some sort of superstitious thing, but it's not so. Okay? By the way, the Tosefta, he brings all these things for Shabbos. That for before Shabbos you could do this because it makes it light nicer. If someone covers a ner of shemen without any reason, okay, so what you're doing is you're covering it up. Obviously, not too much; it needs oxygen. When you cover it, it helps it light nicer because of its warmth around it, and it'll have a nicer look. Umegali nafta, and someone who reveals a lamp that's being fueled by neft. Neft is what do they call it? Kerosene, and therefore the when you take off that cover, it makes a better flame. Okay, and it burns it better. You're being over on the Isser of Bal Tashchit. Why? Because you're destroying things for no purpose. Basically, you're making it go faster. And what's the point of that? You're just destroying things quicker. So that's Bal Tashchit. Chamre v'chaim lefum rabanan. If someone, while they're pouring a cup, and they say, Chamre v'chaye lefum rabanan, ema b'shudach yemori, wine and life to the mouths of the chachamim. Okay? That's like saying l'chaim. Okay? Like that's the minig today. Comes from this Gemara. And that's what we're saying now to the whole Klal Yisrael. That's the way the parak ends. It's not a problem. We want wine and life to the Chachamim, all the Chachamim that were suffering. Now we want life to them, l'chaim. And for every cup that he brought, he would say, wine and life to the mouths of the Rabbanon. He said, life and wine, lefum rabbanon ulefum talmideim, and to the mouths of their talmidim, like we say in Yukub Purkim, and we say in Kaddish, the Rabbanan, right? Talmidei, we say chaye, ariche, mezen reviche. So therefore, if you see that Rabbi Akiva did such a thing, for sure, there's no Darkei Mori and Rabbi Akiva, which is the Rebbe of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Omer Rabbi Akiva, we have both of them today. We've ended off with Rabbi Akiva. See? And what did Rabbi Akiva end off saying? Ashreichem Yisrael, l'chaim, l'chaim, Rabbi say. So we're gonna make a l'chaim of it. We're gonna pour chaim, chamre v'chaye, chaye rabbanon l'tamidei. Yes, David.
Yeah, I have a question. So why did he switch the words from wine to life? And
Ooh,
to wine?
you know who says pshat in that? I'll tell you right now. The Marsha says pshat. Says the Marsha. Thank you. The Gemara says, "V'yayin yisamach levav enosh." There's a pasuk. Wine is yisamach. The Gemara dashes it two ways. If a person drinks the right amount, it makes him happy. If he doesn't merit to drink he drinks too much, mishalamo, makes him like nuts. So Rabbi Akiva said to the Rabbanan, "Chamra v'chaye." Wine and life. If you drink the wine in a way that will give you life, then if you drink wine the right way, it will bring you life. And then he said back to them the other way around. He said, he wanted to bless them that even if they drink too much, they shouldn't endanger themselves. So therefore he turned it around and he said, Chaye v'chamro. He said life before wine. That life should always be there for you. Before you drink too much. So there should be life before the wine. The wine should precede the wine and should be there already before you drink the wine. You shouldn't need the wine to bring life. The life should be there for you even before you bring the wine. So even if you drink too much, everything should be okay. And that's why he ended off saying, and to their Talmidim too. Because the Talmidim of the Rabbanon were prone to drink too much. And that's why on the one that he turned around, he said for the youngsters. As we saw yesterday, that they used to give wine, so they should understand really deep Torah. And then they would rub the oil on their palms and legs, right? You remember? To take it away. Unbelievable Gemarot. Everybody should have, the whole Klal Yisrael should have refuis and Yeshuot. It's like the Omer, Zchut, Hatana, Lakai, B'Shimon Bar Yochai.